Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accepting it soon, or you'll be drenched to the bone. If the time to you is worth saving, then you'd better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. And most of you know that that song was written by Bob Dylan, was released in 1964. Now, Bob Dylan was never a leader of any kind of movement, but he was a keen observer of what was going on around him. I was just a kid when I first heard that song, but I realized it was a reflection of what was happening in society around me, in the news that I saw, what the adults were talking about, and what I was learning in social studies in school. It was a time when we were opening our eyes to social injustice, to the minority, to the poor, to the aged. We were starting to ask the big questions to our government, to corporations, and to the medical establishment. We were becoming awake to the world around us. Fast forward 40 plus years, and Bob Dylan has sold the rights to that song to an insurance company to use in a television commercial. This is not a rant about Bob Dylan selling out. I believe that Bob Dylan inadvertently re-released this song at a time when our social consciousness is changing again. We are closing our eyes to the social injustice of the poor, the minorities, and the aged. We're no longer asking the big questions of corporations, government, and medical establishment. Well, we might be asking the questions, but we're accepting the spin response that we're getting back when we ask the questions. We are closing our eyes and going back to sleep. I hope I'm still alive in the future when Bob Dylan's estate sells the rights to this song and perhaps signals a positive change in our social consciousness. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he who gets hurt is he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your